world is burning. In California alone, some 3 million acres have burned since 2017. Since the beginning of 2019, there have been more than 121,000 fires in Brazil, and more than half of those have been in the Amazon rainforest. These fires cost the planet trees, which help fight climate change. The 2018 wildfire season in California is estimated to have released about 68 million tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. That's roughly 15% of all emissions in California. In short, one of the world's best defenses against climate change is being destroyed at an alarming rate. A recent study from the Swiss Federal Institute for Technology, ETH Zurich, says reforestation of forested lands at a global scale could help capture atmospheric carbon and mitigate climate change.
We know that trees capture that carbon, but we've never had any idea what kind of impact it could have at a global scale. That's why we've never been able to place it as one of the top climate change solutions. The area for extra tree restoration potential is far greater than we could have ever imagined. Over 1.6 billion hectares of land is available for forest restoration. And 0.9 billion hectares of that exists outside of urban and agricultural regions. That means there's 0.9 billion hectares of land that is available for forest growth if we restore them effectively right now.
0.9 billion hectares is an area the size of the United States. It's enough space to plant more than 1 trillion trees. And the resulting carbon capture, according to the study, would be more than 200 gigatons. That's about 32% of human carbon emissions since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. In fact, after the study was first published, articles appeared with headlines like, "Tree planting has mind-blowing potential to tackle climate change, but planting trees is something almost everyone can agree is beneficial to the planet." While the ETH Zurich study says there are 0.9 billion hectares of land available for planting, there's little chance all of it will ever be used for that purpose. Much of the available land is on private property, so private landowners would have to be convinced to do the planting.
在解决土地取得问题之前，地球上的森林正在迅速消失。根据巴西国家太空署11月份公布的最新统计，亚马逊的雨林在2018年7月到2019年7月的这一年间，消失了9762平方公里，相当于29.5%，创下2008年以来的最糟糕纪录。
The Amazon rainforest is enormous. It covers more than 2 million square miles, including a large chunk of northwestern Brazil, and extends to Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, French Guiana, and Suriname. Since January, more than 121,000 fires have ravaged Brazil, with more than half of those burning in the country's Amazon rainforest. Many of them were set as a result of slash-and-burn agriculture. Farmers burn the land to create space for crops and grazing. And it could get worse, especially under current President Jair Bolsonaro's aggressive land use policies. The country lost 53.8 billion hectares of tree cover from 2001 to 2018. That's a 10% decrease since 2000. And deforestation is harmful in another way. When a tree is cut down, it releases captured CO2 back into the atmosphere. NASA estimates between 15 and 20% of carbon emissions each year come from deforestation. Much of the deforested lands in Brazil was planted over with soybeans or used for cattle grazing. About 80% of Amazon's deforestation is due to cattle ranching. In fact, Brazil is now among the world's biggest soy and beef exporters. Meanwhile, President Bolsonaro, who was a climate change skeptic, is not inclined to stop deforestation anytime soon.
我们能做些什么呢？
More than 600 social media stars recently raised over $16 million to plant trees all over the world. The effort was spearheaded by YouTube star Jimmy Donaldson, who's also known as Mr. Beast.
Because that's when Mr. Beast hit 20 million subs, and someone suggested to celebrate he should plant 20 million trees. It went super viral on Reddit and Twitter, at which point someone else suggested he should team up with me and a bunch of other YouTubers to make it happen. Which got me thinking. And so with that, I made my way to Oregon to meet with Mr. Beast and his crew to plant 20 million trees. One down, 19,999,999 more to go.
这 个 Team Trees 的活动在开始头2天就募到了超过500万美元，之后这些钱将捐给一个专门种树的非营利保护组织——植树节基金会。
We need your help. Every dollar donated, they will plant a tree. Watch, here's $1, and I donated it.
Another dollar, another tree.
Even Elon Musk committed to donating 1 million trees to the project. It should be finished in 3 years. There's also the Bond Challenge, which intends to plant 864 million acres of trees by 2030. And the Nature Conservancy has its own Plant a Billion Trees effort underway. The program was launched in 2008 and was originally intended to bring back Brazil's Atlantic forest. It's since expanded to the US, Mexico, and China. Reforestation efforts are also a major part of the Paris Climate Agreement, which President Trump just formally moved to end US participation. The withdrawal will be complete at the end of 2020. So while it doesn't take long to destroy forests, replacing them can take decades.
前 NASA 工程师，同时也是 Team Trees 参与者之一的 Mark Roberts 说，这也是为什么他们这些网红愿意站出来实行这个看似不可能的任务，为的就是向政治家传递出强大的讯息。
And it's important to note with regards to Team Trees that 20 million trees by 2020 isn't going to cure climate change, but it's a step in the right direction and a constructive, positive way to send the message that we see the science and we care.
And I'm personally planting 100,000 trees, aka $100,000 donation. I've literally tried my best to do everything I can, and now it's your guys' turn.